Hey guys, and I just wanted to do a quick review of the BenQ monitor that I've purchased. It's a 144 Hertz monitor, and my reviews are more like, and hopefully the audio's okay because I'm using a weird setup. I'm using a DSLR, and I thought, well, I've got the DSLR for photos, so I may as well use it for video. So right now I'm stood in front of a tripod with a camera, so it feels a little bit weird to me. Not really done that before, but hopefully that's okay. I think it gives much better quality than my webcam, and I've got the damn thing, so I may as well use it. So I'm trying to look into the lens more, as people tell me I don't do that enough. So my reviews aren't so much focused on the actual product like specifications. For me, it's all about, is it worth the money? What does it do? How does it feel? And yeah, is it worth it? And what can you expect out of it? So this monitor is, as you may be seeing a few pictures, it's difficult to get pictures because I have it set up. The monitor can rotate, can go up and down. 144 Hertz, like I've said, it's a TN panel, so it's not amazing colour, we'll get into that. But this isn't a review of what this monitor does. Everyone has access to the internet. Everyone knows what the monitor does. You want to know, is it any good? So I've been playing on it a little bit now, and I thought I'd give it a review sort of thing. I feel like I know it well enough to basically tell you, is it any good? So for me, I'm enjoying it. Now, how much am I enjoying it? Is it worth the £200? Now for me, I have a checklist basically. I have a list where I think, right, the monitor costs £100. The monitor costs £200, the monitor costs £300, whatever the price may be, you have to weigh up what are you getting for that money. This monitor I bought for £200. Now to my left I have a 1080p monitor that I've been using for many years, and in front of me is my new monitor, and I can look at them side by side and tell you how I feel playing on them both. This is for gaming, this is my review for playing games on the damn things. So don't look at this review as a, is this any good? Think of like my position that I'm in and compare it to yourself. So for me, I have been playing the past, what, 4-5 years on a 1080p LED monitor. It has 5 millisecond response time, and that's all it's got. Those are its features: 60 Hertz, 5 millisecond response time, 1080p. I am now playing on a 144 Hertz monitor. It's 3D ready if you want to do that sort of upgrade. It's 144 Hertz. It's got all these different profiles, and yeah, that's what I'm playing on now. So let's begin to sort of break this down. The monitor on my left cost £100 a long time ago. I'd say the average decent 1080p monitor now is still £100, and this is £200, so it's twice the price. So for me, you've got to weigh up what are you getting for your money. You know, what are you paying for? What's the extra 100 for? So the extra 100, frankly, is for the panel that gives you 144 Hertz. Now, my initial experience with 144 Hertz, I'll be honest, wasn't that great. I've been built up to believe that it's going to be super smooth, it's going to be unreal, it's going to be this holy grail that you'll never go back. And when I plugged it in, I was like, just feels the same really, just feels exactly the same as my 60 Hertz monitor. Then I turned on the 144 Hertz when you go into your options and your monitor properties, and I turned on 144 Hertz and I thought, this is it, boom, we're in the future. I pressed apply and I thought, it still feels the same. I ran Path of Exile, I ran CSGO, I ran Just Cause 3, I ran League of Legends, and I ran StarCraft, and I thought, damn, this is no good. This might have to be going back to Amazon, because this is just, for £200, I've got 14-day refund, quibble free, I can send this back. I thought I'll stick with it, and now, this isn't some sort of placebo. I'm absolutely anti-placebo. I played the games on both monitors side by side to check. I wouldn't go back to 60 Hertz. And there's a few like little things I can show you. Hopefully you'll be seeing on screen. Basically, I wasn't sure what 144 Hertz looked like because you can't watch it online. This is why you're seeing me. I can't show you what 144 Hertz looks like. I'm recording this at a filmic 24 FPS on a DSLR. If I was to record on my iPhone at 120 FPS and hold it up to the 120 FPS screen, you wouldn't see anything because it's coming out in a 30 Hertz video or a 60 FPS video on a 60 Hertz monitor. I can't make a 144 FPS video and display it to you on YouTube at the correct FPS. You can't do that. So when you're looking around on YouTube, you're basically asking yourself, what are you getting yourself into? What is this 144 Hertz? If you're like me, there are no shops around where I live where there's 144 Hertz monitors available to look at. There's no PC shops where I live, there's nothing. So I couldn't figure out for the life of me if it was worth it, so I just took the plunge. And that's what's making me make this video, because I wanted to explain my experience. So for me, here's how it goes. It is smoother. It's a lot smoother, and it's a different sort of smooth, because 60 Hertz isn't unsmooth. 60 Hertz, let me move this, yeah. 60 Hertz isn't this unsmooth piece of crap where you're like, oh, this is so juddery. It's not 30 FPS, it's not 20 FPS, it still is 60 FPS. It's still smooth. But 144 FPS, now that I'm used to it, gives you something different. It basically, what everyone's told me is, speeds it up. Speed it up, gaming, speed it up. Well, actually, it slows it down. And slowing it down speeds it up. That's where I think they've like misinterpreted, or people haven't really explained it properly. So I play Cassiopeia, the champion in League of Legends, okay? She's like a snake, you know, she slithers about, and on 60 Hertz, her tail sort of zips. On 144 Hertz, it's just bob on. It's just smooth as anything. And at first, it's like kind of surreal. It's like surreally smooth. And then you're thinking, well, yeah, it does look really smooth. It looks pretty damn good. But, you know, would I pay £200 for that smoothness of a tail? So what is it actually giving me? Well, to me, the 144 Hertz monitor gives you time. That's what it gives you. When you're turning your character around in League of Legends and you're doing a turn and you're unsure, like, if someone's coming from a bush, or there's a Counter-Strike player and he's coming off freaking Cat on Dust 2 or something. Now, when you turn your character on to 60 Hertz, this is for me playing, and I'll get into it. For me playing, when you turn your character on 60 Hertz, it's like facing forwards, bang, facing back. It's like this, right? It's like this. And that, to me, for a little bit, when I went on to 144 Hertz, it's like this. Instead of like this, where you're turning, you're clicking to go forwards and then back, and it's turning like this, it's like, we're turning. And it feels slow, but that's actually incredibly good. Because think about it, the animation timings haven't changed or anything. The animations are still exactly the same. They still take, whatever, 0.5 seconds to do that turn. But it feels like it's taken a second. You have way more time to react because you're just seeing more things. And I don't want to build it up to like, all of a sudden it's going to make you play phenomenally better. But I feel like I'm at the level where I can appreciate it. I'll be honest, if you have a shit PC, there's no point you buying this monitor. If you're not getting 100 FPS or 80 plus, I'd say 80 plus, not really much point you getting the monitor. Because you're paying for 144 Hertz, you want the extra frames. So what I was worried about wasn't that I couldn't get 144 Hertz on League, because I can, wasn't on Counter-Strike, because I can. It was on the games like Path of Exile, or the games like Witcher 3, or Just Cause, where you're not, unless you have an incredible system, you're not going to get 144 FPS the whole time. So for me, I was like, right, you know, let's check this out, let's see what this is doing. And when you're chilling at 90 FPS, 80 FPS, what I was worried, because I was looking at G-Sync monitors, FreeSync, all this type of stuff, I was worried that if you weren't at 144 FPS, the monitor would sort of drop down a level and it just would shit the bed, frankly. This is what I was worried about, and it would be juddery, there'd be ghosting. Ghosting is where it's like, sort of, it's just basically like lines blurring over each other, to simplify it. That's what you'd see, sort of like screen tearing. So where you have the wavy lines going across the screen. I thought it'd be like that because you're not getting 144 Hertz. Then I thought to stop that you'd have to turn on VSync and you'd be locked not to 144 Hertz, your top ceiling, because you're not getting 144, you're getting like 80, 90, that it's going to kick you down to 60. And I thought I'd be sat playing at 60. But the monitor handles games absolutely brilliantly without VSync. There's no screen tearing, there's no blurriness. If anything, well, not if anything, it is better than playing it at 60. Graphically, games for me have changed. It's really strange. So this was the biggest thing I noticed was, and again, you have to be decent enough to take advantage of it, right? If you're absolutely crap at every game and you move at a slug's pace and you turn in your guy and you're just playing like super casually, you're playing Hearthstone, you know, you're not really going to take advantage of it. But when you're playing like StarCraft, and I'm like Diamond, so I'm pretty bad but I'm not horrendous, and in League I'm like Plat 1, so we're getting there almost Diamond, you know, I feel like I'm decent enough to take advantage of the newfound technology. So for one, the monitor has 1 millisecond response time. Now I've been playing on 5 milliseconds. Now to say I can feel a 4 millisecond difference isn't true. I'm not superhuman, I can't notice 4 milliseconds. It just feels better. And that must be me noticing something. I definitely feel more responsive, and it's not a placebo because I've gone back and played on the other monitor. And there's something about this monitor where it just seems zippy. It seems like you click in, boom, 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 and you guys like, it's like it's predicting your movement. Like the second you clicked, is going. There's not any pause, and that might be because, like I say, think of my situation and compare it to yours. I've played on like, I think it's a 5 to 6 millisecond response time monitor. It's quite old, it's 1080p, and that's what I've been playing on. So maybe I can notice the difference because I've got a much worse monitor than you have. Maybe you've got a 1 millisecond response monitor now, and you get this one and you won't notice much difference. I'm not sure, but for me, I noticed a big difference. The main thing about the smoothness, apart from it being really smooth, like when you're aiming in Counter-Strike, it feels like you're in liquid. You're just floating along and you can just aim perfectly and everyone's moving perfectly. And League, the auto-attack animation, I've noticed the big difference is when you click a creep, your guy is instantly onto that creep. Whereas before, obviously you'd still do it instantly, but it didn't feel absolutely spot on. And the auto-attack animation would be in the air and you see it going to the minion. Now the difference I can try and explain is basically that everything's happening at the same time. The monitor isn't going to make suddenly a spell that takes 1 second to cast, half a second. It's still going to do the same thing in 1 second. You're just going to see more because it can display more physically. Now obviously, like I'm saying, you're not going to go, wow, I can see much more of the map. No, that's like a constraint of the game. But say an auto attack animation, instead of you seeing it leaving your character, sort of 1 step, quarter way, half step, third of a quarter, boom, it hits the minion, it sort of just glides. And it might not sound much, but it gives you a much better sense of how the auto attack is going through, and it improves your last hitting. Now that might be, you might go, bullshit, it improves your last hitting, but honestly, I feel like with the 1 millisecond response time and the smoothness, I've definitely hit more creeps. I'm not lying, I've got nothing to lie for, they haven't paid me. I bought it out of my own cash, and I'd be sending it back if I thought it was shit. But it's not, it surprised me. I'm looking at the top right. It's called the XL2411. That's the monitor brand I'm using. It surprised me. It's good. Again, so apart from it being smooth and all that, the thing I've noticed the most, and the types of games I play, are Path of Exile, stick my thumb up, Path of Exile, StarCraft, League of Legends. So there's not that much pace in the game. So if you're a Counter-Strike player, this monitor will be perfect for you. It's amazing. But I was worried that on a game like League or StarCraft or PoE, where you're not that fast, that you wouldn't notice it. But what it does is, we'll take my camera battery, okay? So you can read things whilst things are moving. Now, what this means is basically, let's see this writing on here. It doesn't autofocus, but basically you have your writing, okay, and it goes across like this, and it's going across like this, right? And you can't see this writing, but on a 144 Hertz monitor, there's none of this. Like, when you pick up a box on your 60 Hertz monitor and you carry it across, it sort of jitters, and the writing isn't clear. There's sort of screen tearing as you're moving the box across, and it sort of zips across. On 144 Hertz, it's still travelling at the same speed, but it's just going across, and you can read it. So I didn't think this had any practical use. I just thought, hey, it looks kind of cool when I'm sat on my desktop moving around Windows. It's super smooth. But what it actually does is, when you jump in through hotkeys, or you're doing map movements and you're dragging the map. So you're playing mid lane, you hit your F1, you jump to top lane, or you drag your screen up, however you do it. And you arrive at top lane, and then you have a look at top lane, and shit, there's a fight going on bot lane, do our TP, and you whiz back and you whiz the map across to bot lane. On 60 Hertz, as you're whizzing the map across, you're not seeing anything. You're seeing everything whiz across. Whereas on 144 Hertz, as you're travelling, everything is readable. So it's sort of odd, because you sort of fly past mid lane and everything's still super clear, and you arrive at bot lane and it's super clear, and then you flick back to top, and as you're flicking back, it goes from bot to mid to top, and you can see the ward's been placed, you can see the minions moving, you can see some guy doing an animation, he's throwing an auto attack out, and it's still happening at that 1 second speed, but you can see it all, and there's much more information to take in. And also, to me, I'm like a stickler for like graphics. It has improved the graphics, not physically, obviously it can't do that, it can't make a low setting into a high, but what it does do is get rid of all that sort of horrible jerkiness and screen tearing that when you're whizzing through, because that's what the type of games I play, RTS games. You play, you know, if you're playing StarCraft, you're jumping from base to base, you're moving around, you're building supply depots, or League, you're zipping from bot to mid to jungle, you're pathing around. It's just so smooth. So at the beginning, I really didn't think that there was that much brilliance in it. I thought, it's okay. But the more you play on it, the more you really get a sense of, yeah, this is good. This isn't like a gimmick. I really thought it was a gimmick, you know. I thought it was, yeah, it's smooth, but it doesn't help you. But no, it really does, and I can honestly say that. Like, there's no, I think I've only done a few reviews on my channel, and I don't bullshit. Like, I'd tell you if it was rubbish. How much would I value the smoothness at? I think it's worth literally another £100 on top. I think it's worth the 200. I think you have your quality 1080p screen. You have, it's really bright. There's lots and lots of options that you can look into. Now, the one downside to the monitor is the monitor as good as an IPS panel? No, it can't be. It just can't be. My screen next to me is worse than this one in front of me. So this is an LED screen. When I had an old screen and I bought this LED one, it was like, wow, this is so bright. I can see everything. It's like that jump again. It's going from the LED to this one, which seems even more bright, and not bright in a oh my god I'm blinded kind of way, just in a everything's well lit, everything looks good. For videos and movies, yeah, it's shit out of the box, but I fixed that and everyone else has fixed that. When it comes out of the box, it's really nice. You play your games, it's super nice. But when you watch a YouTube video or you watch a film, it's sort of, how can I describe it? It's sort of where you get compression artifacts, the little blocks. The colours are like blocky on videos, and that's just because it's doing it for games. It's removing all the crap and it's making it as smooth experience as it can for you. Whereas when you're in movies, you don't really want that. There are multiple profiles. Basically what you do is you right click desktop, click personalise, click your monitor, your BenQ, right click it, properties, right click colour management, and then it says profile, add profile, and you add an ICC profile, which I'll put in the description, and it just boom, it applies and it fixes your colours. Now I am using the setting, if we have a look here, I am using the setting, hold on, it's got buttons on the front, I'm using the setting FPS 1, and the setting is custom. I'll leave you the things in the description, but basically I have Blacklight on 12, brightness 100, sharpness on 6, blue light is nothing, I have motion blur off, and I have AMA on high, and those are my settings, and it's really, really good. It's better than my other monitor. So for people that come out and keep saying, oh, the monitor's shit quality, the monitor's absolutely shit, honestly, yeah, compared to like a £2,000 IPS panel that has an 8 millisecond response time and is 1080p and is 22 inch or 31 inch, yeah, your screen's gonna look shit. But that IPS panel is crap for gaming, because who wants an 8 millisecond response time? Who doesn't want 144 Hertz? Who wants a 60 Hertz monitor that's slow for gaming? No. When I play my games, I want it clean, I want it smooth, and I want to be able to play. I'm not bothered about the absolute pin sharp video, because I play games on this monitor. I watch YouTube videos on this monitor. I'm not critiquing film, I'm not colour editing professional photographs. I have a second screen that I watch my films on. I'm sure most people have a second screen that they watch films on. This isn't to say, right, that you can't watch films on this screen. A lot of people are like, the quality's shit, you can't... It's absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with the screen. You can watch videos and film on it just fine. It's nice, it's good colour. People are... The way I was reading reviews, they were talking like, when it comes out of the box, your screen's going to be yellow, it's going to be blurry, it's going to be shit, and it doesn't. I don't know if this was an old version, but I just got mine. It came out the box, and it's just perfect. So, I don't know what they were talking about.